Welcome everybody to another exhilarating prison tour episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. That's right, today we'll be jumping back into the Walpole State prison in Massachusetts. This clip is from back in the day, I think early 90s. She don't want to go to Walpole, she says. Lucy was built like that. She was trained to go. What's wrong? You better get together, yeah. Now, I read in the comments section from a lot of people that this prison is now majority classification, with just a handful of inmates actually serving their whole time there. But it's like that in many classification prisons. I was in one where cadres, these are the workers, they're the only ones that stay in that prison. Everyone else gets shipped somewhere else. These guys make sure everything runs smooth. Inmates get their clothes, their ID cards, or whatever. And a lot of people look at them like, man, you got the sweetest job on earth. And if you go into one of those cadre cells, I promise you, it'll be unlike anybody else's. They got all kinds of gadgets and gizmos because they've been stuck in that prison reception. They're a whole bid. They get all kinds of things coming in and out. It's like a Goodwill almost, because a lot of people bring stuff from jail and they realize they're not even allowed to take it into the prison. Cadres go through the trash, pick all this stuff up. Or maybe the COs just straight up give it to them. But even though Walpole, not Walpole, I got my grammar checked in the comment section as well. But Walpole State Prison used to be a gladiator camp back in its day. What I mean by that is a lot of violence. And that's how it is with the majority of these classification prisons. Back in the day, they had their day. But this notorious prison is due to be shut down this summer. So let's jump into this unfortunate, nostalgic memory for many. Walking through Walpole State Prison. As always though, if you're new to the channel and enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Alright, so this is where we left off, and it was pretty shocking to me. But it wasn't the first time that I've seen it, alright? In these older prisons, a lot of the COs will go in these little secret tunnels where the pipes are behind the cells and make it like a little observation deck to see what's going on in the cell block without the inmates seeing them. Get intel to see if they need to go in for a shakedown or anything like that, right? So when I was watching this, I was like, man, I wonder if they had any of this stuff in the prisons I was in.
We're gonna go up to the second floor now.
Look how they're turning the key really soft to make sure the inmates don't hear them. And this audio, man, it reminds me of Jason, Michael Myers or something, old school flicks. This is like Freddy Krueger's domain.
We head over to 33. Did you copy that?
Yeah, I'm there right now, but I can't make it out.
So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a fat stack of cash. Prison, I'm here to tell you, is nowhere near just pennies, nickels, honey buns, and ramens. It's a money-making machine. I'm not going to break down all the logistics, but I'll never forget when an inmate popped at my cell with a handful of hundreds. When he showed it to me, I thought it was fake. Monopoly money or something. I've never seen an inmate with cash, let alone $100 bills. But I knew it was real as soon as he waved that puppy in front of my nose. It had that Mr. Krabs smell. That smelly smell that smells smelly. Money. Oh, a little hot in there. He gotta wave himself with those hundos.
And Paul, what cell do you have in?
Oh, they're gonna go get that money.
Cell 34. But they're in front of the cell, so I don't know what you can pick up.
They can see you out of there.
I feel like I'm watching Jacob's Ladder.
Back there, you wouldn't believe what you heard. You have one guy come over to another guy, hey John, I'm looking to get a weapon, you know, what do you got? Well, I know a guy who's got a 12-inch piece of steel, I know another guy who's got a pick. Oh, okay, all right, great, what do you want for it? Talking about who's making the homebrew tonight, and
This right here is the face of a CO that loves his job. Ah, but man, he heard the whole conversation. They're looking for a few weapons in that cell block.
what time they're gonna get together and split it up. Whoa, you all right?
Walpole will always be Walpole.
Them secret tunnels can be
They're
dangerous.
stuck with us and we're stuck with them.
Cameraman ain't
So
built
further
for it.
notice, anyway.
Alex Rodriguez has particular first-hand knowledge about gangs from having been raised in the inner city. There are so many gang members here, they're kept isolated in 4 designated cell blocks to prevent them from gaining new recruits.
Yeah, we're gonna straighten it up.
Prison gangs are highly organized, making them the biggest threat to security. The mere presence of our cameras seems to have set them off.
Porque eso va a traer problemas.
Yeah,
I mean,
nobody's
that
face is gonna be on.
I know that's not the point, though. You know what I'm saying?
It's not up to me. I just follow orders, man. We're gonna get them out of here. What's going on? Huh? What's going on? Yeah, they're not happy. So it'd probably be better off to do it from outside. Okay. Hey, they didn't want you in that block. No, they didn't want us in there.
Wow.
Basically, they're just giving us a heads up. You know, hopefully we have that respect. We can relate with each other. It should be no biggie, no.
And who would they most be angry at?
Me,
Why?
because I'm the gang officer and I should have known better. And that's how they play it.
Wow, so he decided to get out that cell block, which happens to be filled with nothing but gang members. Solid ones, too, if I were to guess. Because they don't want to be on camera at all, and they say you come in here with it, showing our faces and stuff, there's going to be issues. So, who's really running the prison here? But it doesn't really boil down to that question, I guess. It comes down to respect value. Yes, the COs might have complete control of the place, but at the same time, they gotta live there somewhat with those inmates as well, coming in, day out. So a lot of COs will respect the wishes of these guys that might have a lot of pull in that prison or jail, just so it doesn't cook into something much more extreme. It's not always about who runs what. It's more along the lines of playing the game.
Dealing with gangs involves unique risks. Their power can extend far beyond the prison walls.
A year and a half ago, I had an incident where a number of guys showed up in front of my house, threatened me, basically told me to stop doing what I'm doing. But nothing assaultive, no physical action occurred. They walked away, I walked away. So it was a big thing. Sometimes you got to be very careful on how you relate with these guys. If they want to find out where you live, they have no problem doing it.
Threats from inmates come in many forms. This afternoon, the security unit has intercepted an intimidating letter to a state prosecutor.
We wrote a letter to the district attorney's office, the state police called. It's a real nice letter. Dear Mr. O'Reilly, parentheses, Mr. Deadman. I hope that when you get this letter that you're dead, I'm going to have my people put a bomb in your car. I'll also have a bomb in your house and yours. How's your wife doing? I'm sure you don't want anything to happen to her. And it also says, P.S. Get back to me, motherfucker. Because you'll die real soon, so count your blessings.
Wow. Look, this goes to show you that they read just about every letter going out as well. Well, not every letter. I'd say people that are probably red flagged or in some security housing unit, they're probably going to read all theirs first before they mail it. But nowadays, 2024, that guy would have gotten hemmed up on like 30 more felonies behind that letter.
I'd like you to take a look at this here, death threats and what have you. We need somebody to go down and take him out and have a word with him.
Okay. On the streets, you have a situation with
Oh,
the Middlesex
man.
District Attorney's Office.
Yeah, I got a problem with them.
Did you write them any letters
I wrote them letters
recently?
about 2 weeks ago or something like that.
You're gonna have to start seeking some better avenues than this. You send out things to these people in these high places. It's gonna come back and haunt you, buddy. And you just came out of a situation over the weekend where you got involved with the officer down in the unit doing the same damn thing.
I have no idea what this guy's in here for, but by the way that he's acting, laughing, and getting a very serious face like this, he has some mental issues. Not to mention the letter he wrote, that's kind of insanity in itself. Any logical person knows they're going to Himtown behind it. I don't know if this guy's out or not, but can you imagine having him as your cellie? He'd probably skin you alive and laugh at you at the same time, man. Scary stuff, huh? But who knows, like I said, I'm just guessing.
Yeah, no, he threatened an officer yesterday, too?
He threw juice in the officer's face and did threaten him with bodily harm and death.
You're not gonna go too far like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing time for, what are you doing time for?
For manslaughter, supposedly killing my uncle.
Ah, that solidifies it right there. Manslaughter for supposedly killing his uncle. Imagine what he do to a cellmate that you don't like, man. God.
I got a deep problem. You know, I got like a personality problem. One minute I be a thugster, next minute I be a cry little, you know, a shy little baby type person.
Okay. I can't think of anything else. Can you, Officer Rivera? Dave, we're all set. Thank you. I've been here 16 years, and everybody in here is a bad guy. An inmate, yeah, get under your skin. If they know more about you than what meets the eye here at your workplace, they're going to utilize that to their advantage, sure.
That's a fact, too. Any COs out there, listen up. Don't get personal with no inmates. Just like inmates don't get too personal with another inmate. They will use every little personal bit of information against you in the long run if they need to.
We hear stories that
Did you hear that?
inmates, spit in the food.
Back in the day, just a few cents get you this plate right here. Listen to that change drop. You don't hear that jingle these days no more, man. Nothing but plastic.
Anything, something falls on the floor, they put it back in. The worst possible thing you can think someone can do to food, they've probably done it. So that's why you see a lot of the old timers will never touch it. They'll bring their own food. But I eat it.
What is this guy looking at? Oh man, he's creeping on a cell. Oh, we got a door banger.
Here's my question. Is Charlie begging because he wants to go to the yard? Charlie's begging because, exactly, sir. You tell Charlie that you're in charge of the tip, right, and that he'll get his recreation. However, he does not dictate to you when he goes to the yard. He'll be allowed to go to the yard when you decide he's to go out. Right.
Ah, looks like Charlie's ready to go to the yard now. Anytime he needs anything, he starts banging, and the COs, man, they listen. Charlie gets what he wants when he wants it. One thing COs absolutely cannot take is the reverberating of banging doors in their ear all day. Man, it'll drive some of them guys nuts to come in there and beat you senseless. Or they'll say, just give Charlie Rex so he shuts up. Blue T said, look, you need to man up. This is your cell block. Tell his ass that. Yes, sir, sir. Yes, sir.
Chase is considered the most violent and unmanageable inmate at Walpole.
Oh, no.
Originally convicted of armed robbery and murder.
He's concerned, he's stripped all the time. His cell is shaken down because he's a major escape risk as well as a threat to the security of the institution. I don't think there's been one consistent month that he's behaved himself, so his time down here isn't counting, and that goes on a month-to-month basis.
Do you think he's crazy?
Crazy? Tries to come off like that, but theoretically, I don't think he's crazy, no.
Crazy is, crazy does.
Given his often
That's Charlie's
bizarre
butt
behavior,
naked.
Charlie's lawyers question whether solitary confinement is in fact driving him insane. Along with 10 other DDU inmates, Charlie is named in a class action lawsuit claiming that the DDU employs cruel and unusual punishment.
All this that you're witnessing is a conspiracy to keep a good man down.
That was the exact same thing I said every cell block I went into.
That's all it is.
He's a clown. No, it's not the right opinion.
Damn, man, these docus were built different back then. He's a clown. Probably not the best description of him, but, that's the truth.
Yes.
How long you been in here, Charlie?
How long I've been here?
Yeah.
6 years this year.
When are you getting out?
I don't know. I got another 9 years left. Yeah, they took a lot of good time from me,
Thank you, Charlie.
We've had our problems down here. A lot of it's been with forced moves in the cells, inmates refusing to come out of their cells, refusing to exit their cells. So a team would be put together, wearing protective gear, and try to get him out.
Some DDU inmates are considered so dangerous that it can require as many as 6 officers in full body armor to extract them from their cells. In the main section of Walpole Prison, a major disturbance has broken out in one of the cell blocks. We're denied permission to film during the incident and are only now allowed briefly to see its aftermath.
I'm going to go down with the lieutenant. We're going to just make a round in the unit, see how things are going.
take a peek in the cells, pull in the doors, just to get a general feel for what's going on. When you're doing...
Alright, so they said that there was a disturbance in the main cell block and they couldn't allow the camera crew to record it. Don't know why, but I'm guessing they moved the guys that were making the disturbance into this block. This, if I remember correctly, is what they call DDU. I could be wrong, but it's for people that get in trouble. They're like lockdown. And that would probably explain all the styrofoam on the floors, because when you're on lockdown status, they bring you your food in a styrofoam plate instead of a tray. I don't know, maybe you could hurt yourself or make a weapon with it.
Take a peek in the cells, pull in the doors, just to get a general feel for what's going on. When you're doing something like that, maybe a corner two will stop you and they'll let you know what's up, give you a little feedback as to what's going on in that unit. How'd you end up in this?
I needed some jalapenos and coffee, man. I'm sorry, bro. Maybe you can hook me up with that spot again next month or something when things blow over.
I seen you come home from breakfast, right? Yeah, I didn't get caught up in that stuff.
This occurred because the inmates that were put in here were previously in a regular population block. They had yard privileges, they had chow hall privileges, and I guess it's their way of protesting it being returned to higher custody.
Like you said, man, a lot of people, when they first get into these cell blocks, are a little shell-shocked. It's like getting re-sentenced in prison. They don't want to be there, man, so they start getting real mad. No, trash the whole damn place. I've lived through situations like this numerous times. One time they locked everybody in the whole prison down. It's for the annual shakedown, where they go to every cell block, every part of the yard, and look for contraband. But in the meantime, everybody has to stay in their cell, and this prison was so big, you'd be in the cell for 2 months sometimes. Going nuts, running out of commissary, cigarettes, people going crazy. Because they don't run none of that stuff during the shakedown, lockdown status. And one day, man, everyone started trashing the whole pod just like this, throwing balls of fire out their cell, styrofoam plates everywhere, and me, of course, I was chiming in. What was I doing? I had a lot of toilet paper left, man, so I would wad up these huge paper towel balls full of water, and I would throw it from my bunk out the window, and I would be aiming at the silver tables in the pod down below in the open area, right? So from my bunk, I'm chucking them, and you can hear it, bong, and it would splatter out like a little mini shrapnel water paper grenade. Man, I ain't gonna lie, that was pretty fun. Speaking of which, that looks like a paper wad right there on the wall. Probably one of mine from Virginia. I threw it so hard, made it all the way down to Mass.
Today at Walpole State Prison, inmate Louis Vega is going home. In
Oh,
just 30
nice.
minutes, he will leave solitary confinement in the DDU, be given a $50 check, and go directly back into society.
But man, going home, that's a feeling, man.
How long has it been? 5 years, some months.
How's it feel now?
Feels good. You know, that's how it should feel, you know, after leaving these walls.
I think that when an inmate finishes his sentence and commits some sort of heinous crime within a short period of time, there's a hue and cry that, well, he never should have been released. Well, he had to have been released. He finished his sentence. And, you know, do we rehabilitate people? People want to have to change themselves. Most of the people that we see in our system are just career criminals, and doing time is just part of that business.
And I think we're going to wrap it up right there. What he said, I completely 100% agree with. You want to stay out of prison, then you got to completely change and remove all that criminal activity out of your life. And you got to want it. If you don't want it, it ain't going to happen. Rehabilitation tactics or not. But that's not to take away from the rehabilitation factor. There are some things that I think help inmates in the long run. But stay tuned, I got plenty more content coming your way. Tomorrow I got some breaking prison news stories that's going to shock you to the core. Be on the lookout for all that, and the only way to do that is by hitting that like, subscribe, notification bell, and setting it to all. And as always, until the next time, y'all be easy, be safe, and more importantly than anything, stay free.